And you're on.
Kia ora team, I'm Benny. Welcome to the People's Garden. Welcome to Monday Morning Live. Where today we'll spread love and give flowers with Monday morning shout outs to anyone who joins. We'll take a look back at the week that was. We'll take a look ahead at the week to come. We'll do live gardening. Today we're planting silver beet. A little bit of an experiment that I'm calling the Great Silver Beet Experiment of 2024. We'll be debuting a brand new segment today. More on that shortly. All those things and many more are coming up right here, right now, on Monday Morning Live. Well, let's kick off by taking a look back at the week that was. It's a pretty good week. Pretty good week. Obviously kicked off with MML 50, the 50th consecutive episode. The afternoon, last Monday, we had a funeral to go to. We had a loss in the family. It was a sombre occasion, but it was a fitting farewell and a nice tribute. My sister actually got up and said some really kind words at the funeral and really represented our side of the family really well and made us all proud. After the service, you sort of mill around giving condolences and then you go off for, refreshments, cup of tea, club sandwich. I love club sandwiches, by the way. Don't you love club sandwiches? They're so underrated. You seem to only have them at birthdays or funerals. Why can't they be for dinner? That would be awesome. In fact, I've often thought if I was going to open a cafe, you could call it the club sandwich, and you serve just club sandwiches. I don't know how well it would do. Perhaps I'll stick to being a market gardener and a dad and a filmmaker and whatever else I do. Anyway, I'm there getting myself a club sandwich, and I hear Ben Ward. And I look up to see a lady that I had no idea who she was. I had no idea where I knew her from, how I knew her. I wasn't even sure that I knew her. But somehow she knew me, because she knew my name. Not only did she know my first name, she knew my last name. So it was even more awkward. I had no idea who she was. Anyway, I said, you might have to help me out here. How do I know you? She said, I'm Tammy from school. And I went, Tammy from school? And I'm thinking, I've got no idea who this person is. Anyway, I sort of flubbed my way through the conversation and, you say things like, what have you been up to? And then at the end of the what have you been up to? If I was at intermediate school with her, this was 33 years ago. So you're like, what have you been up to for the last 33 years? You go, well, 33 years ago I did this, and then 32 years ago I did this, 31, and you go, boring. Anyway, you get through the conversation, and then you always lie and you say, I'll see you around, or it was nice to see you, or good to see you doing well, all the while I'm thinking, no idea who this person is. See, unbeknownst to me, moments earlier, my sister, who had given a lovely speech at the funeral, she'd been milling around the people with her club sandwich. And this woman, Tammy, who apparently I'd been to intermediate school with, she said, you're Abby. Are you Abby Ward? Abby Ward said, yes, I am. She said, are you any relation to Ben Ward? My sister said, yes, I am. He's my brother, and he's just over there. At that point, Tammy said, Ben Ward. And of course I looked up with the blank look on my face, which probably remained for most of the conversation. Anyway, slightly awkward, but a lovely service and a lovely send-off for Bill. What will happen for the rest of the week? Great times at the farm. Things are coming to an end now. Strawberries are finishing, melons are finishing, the outdoor courgettes are finishing. So a real time of change on the farm. Really great week with the kids, school holidays, so lots of games and fun, and the kids are at such an age where everything's fun. They just want to have fun, building forts and pretending to be a monster. Had a great day at the Marlborough Farmers Market yesterday. It's my first occasion of actually running the farmers market. I'm getting goosebumps. It means a lot to me to be able to be involved in any capacity with the farmers market. To be able to run it is a real thrill. It gave me a chance to wander around the stalls and chat to the stall holders. One guy in particular, he is with Salubre Beef. Pete and Sue. Salubre beef, and I was really intrigued by the branding. I said, Salubre, what does that mean? And he said, well, it comes from the word salubrious, which I'm going to make. Here's our new segment. It's called Word of the Day, or Word of the Week. Word of the Day, Word of the Week. Anyway, we'll work on the name. Word of the Day this week is salubrious, which means a hymn. Favourable to health or beneficial. Salubrious. Favourable to health or beneficial. Here's to doing things that are salubrious. File that little word away in your back pocket. You can use that. It's fair game. So a great day at the market. Got home and watched the Newcastle Knights absolutely thrash the Dolphins by 18 points to 14. Had a nice bit of time with the family, nice dinner, and settled in to watch one of my favourite movies of all time, Back to the Future 3. That's why we've got the DeLorean. See, Back to the Future came out around about 33 years ago. Around about the time when I was apparently at intermediate school with Tammy. So let's jump in the DeLorean. Let's go for a spin. That'll look better when we add some special effects. See, Back to the Future came out at the time when I was at intermediate school. And I mentioned that the kids had just finished their school holidays. Well, let's take you back to a time when I was halfway through the school holidays at intermediate school. There was one girl in my class that I quite fancied, and I thought I'd ask her out. Now, I was able to get her phone number from the phone book. Remember phone books? You knew the person's surname. You just look them up, and you go, oh, that's where they live. That must be their number. So anyway, I had this girl's number, and it took me seriously a couple of days to pluck the courage up to actually call her. And remember when phones used to go like that when you dial? That's how old I am. Anyway, I'm there, ding, 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 shaking. And I'm like, oh, hey, it's Ben from school. I was wondering if you might want to come to the movies with me. And she said no. She said, oh, I'm busy. I don't even know if I said a day. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm busy. And I was gutted. Absolutely gutted. It was so awkward when I went back to school after the holidays. So anyway, that was Tammy. Tammy that knocked me back from a date at the movies. And I didn't click until later on that day that that's who Tammy was, and that's how I knew her, that's how she knew me. And it kind of occurred to me that as awkward as it was to not know who she was while I was talking with her, it arguably would have been more awkward if I did know who she was. Because instead of just some stranger, she's this girl that broke my heart. Anyway, Tammy from intermediate. Right, that's enough about the week that was. Let's look at the week ahead. Celebrity birthdays this week. This guy, The Rock, the People's Champion. Big inspiration to me. He recently had a return to WWE, and he played a major part in WrestleMania 40. Everyone knows that I'm a massive wrestling nerd. Celebrity birthday this week to The Rock, who's turning 50. It's going to be another good week for the kids at school. They're back at school this week, back into routine. I'll be back to routine at the farm. Another great week at the Marlborough Farmers Market coming up. Give me a chance to run the market again and get to know those stall holders. So that's the week ahead. Let's do live gardening. Now, as we talk and sort of reminisce about the past, my wife Renee and I, we met almost 25 years ago. So we just moved Bray over to the side. Thanks for being with us, Bray. Now, if Renee and I had got married when we first met, we'd be getting close to celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary, which is the silver anniversary. So in honour of that, as a sort of admittedly tenuous link, we're planting silver beet. And we're going to do so using these seedlings that I got from the She Shed, who were back at the Marlborough Farmers Market yesterday selling their organic seedlings. And to get these seedlings out, we're going to use the Penny's 6100 series seedling extractor knife. Now we're going to do an experiment. I'm going to use 2 pots, exactly the same size with the same soil. In one of these pots, I'm going to water them just using water, because you can never underestimate the value of water. And the other pot, I'm going to use an organic fertiliser that I brewed myself. I'll do a little YouTube clip showing the process. But for now, what we're going to do is get some of these silver beet seedlings planted. So we're going to just pop it into the side and just gently lift it up. And we're just going to take it out. We're going to have a look at the roots. Now they're pretty well established, so that's pretty good. They're not sort of bound together. We don't need to loosen them. We'll pop the silver beet in there just like that. And this one we're just going to give water. So we'll give it a bit of water now. I'll go through and put another 2 seedlings in here and another 3 seedlings in a different pot, and we'll monitor the progress of my organic fertiliser versus just the water and the whatever nutrients are in the potting mix. Thanks, Bray. Let's put those over there. Right, we've done live gardening. We've taken a look back at the week that was. We've taken a look at the week ahead. We're giving a few shout-outs. We're giving any shout-outs here? I don't think so. Who's with us? Show up in the comments so I can give you a shout-out. Shout-out to all the parents that got through another great school holiday period. Shout-out to the Rock who's having a birthday. Shout-out to the rubbish truck which is just pulling up. I don't know if we can hear that. Things that happen on live TV. I want to share a final thought. I've reminisced a little bit about the past. I've talked about, what happened last week and the awkward situation with Tammy from Intermediate. It occurs to me that one of these days, I'm going to look back on these days and say, those were the days. Because they are. These are the good old days. They're happening right now. So let's enjoy them. And let's fill these days with things that are salubrious. I'm Benny Ward. Subscribe if you're on board to my YouTube channel, which is Grow with Benny's. Later on today, I'll upload this full episode in glorious widescreen with a few bells and whistles thrown in. So don't forget to tune in. A big thank you in advance for doing that. Now that I've said thank you, you kind of have to. You can see me on Monday Morning Live, every Monday here in the People's Garden. You can see me live and in person every Sunday morning at the Marlborough Farmers Market. And I'll see you next time in the garden.